Okay, so let's start by cloning the project. This is an open source project, so people can see also the commits that we are making. So the name of the project is Fastbike. In here I had some explanation what the app does, but it's basically an iOS and watchOS to find the nearest bike stations and in the bike sharing. And this is done actually for the city of Trento in Italy.
Yeah.
So I see that I have a CI that is completely outdated since BuddyBuild is not free anymore, and it's been touched last time in 2016. So the idea is to simulate a pretty legacy project. This is written in Swift.3.0.
And what works quite well is this is Tiago's project that he did for a hackathon a couple of years ago. So I've seen the project like a couple of days ago. I like used the app, but besides that, I have never seen the code base. Have like no experience on it. So
yeah,
maybe
I haven't looked at it a long time. So for me, it's also a new code base.
and also for this concept, it is a code base that was written very quickly, I believe.
Yeah,
like, you know,
in 24 hours. So it actually has a test.
Well, yeah, what did you write the test for?
So I think I wrote the test for finding the algorithm to find the nearest bike station. And
okay.
The nearest station and the nearest bike.
But that's just one test.
Yeah, very small test, unit test. Yeah. So what I did was try to run the application, and we are lucky because the application runs. Okay, so if I deny the permission.
But then also the iPhone X wasn't out at this time.
So if I run now, it uses the latest SDK, so it doesn't show the black bars like the one that is currently in the App Store, but you see that it's not using the safe areas.
Yep.
No? And also, yeah, but apart from that, it's working, I will say. It has the bike stations, so it's retrieving that API. So it needs the location to use the app. Yeah, right now it shows in Cupertino. So if I ask it to send to the nearest bike, it will have like
walking directions.
some trouble.
Yeah. Okay.
I will get this bike from the other place. But apart from that, seems that it works. So I think now we should see also if the tests run. I don't know if I had some. No, there's no UI test. So this is the first thing that I will do if I inherit like a project. Is try to run the project, try to see the documentation. So we actually have the README with the requirements and how to run. And then I just try to run the tests if there are, so we can see that it crashes if I try to run the tests. So the tests are not working. There are no UI tests, despite there is a target for it. And we have also the watchOS application. Maybe we can try to run that one. And this is also really similar. So basically the whole application is a map with the bike stations and a button to find the nearest bike, or a button to park the bike. Because sometimes you are searching for a bike if you want to go somewhere, or sometimes you are riding the bike and you want to park it. So based on that, you try to find if it has bikes or stations. Let's see the watchOS app. Yeah, so basically that. Yeah, it's really simple. So if I ask to find a bicycle, it doesn't. Yeah, because if I remember correctly, there's no error handling. So before it loads, right now it's loading the bike station's information, and if it doesn't have them, it says this error message. Sorry, you are without luck. Yeah. So what we could do right now, let's imagine that simulate that this is a project that we inherit from a client. So what I will do is to try to show the more value that I can. In this case, is ship an update to be compatible with the new OSs. So I will try to go there first place as a first priority. So you can see that we have like this. And I also like to do like a small to-do list, let's say as like a scratch pad with the things that I need to do. So we see that, okay, we need to upgrade to Swift 4.2. This is not needed per se, so we could make the trade-off to do the upgrade after or later. We need to add some assets, but this, okay, we have Xcode that reminds us. Update assets, and yeah, then we saw this bug here, the safe areas. Yeah.
And we're just trying to get one thing that we can ship.
Yeah. Actually, so if we shipped like that, it will already be an improvement because it doesn't have the black bars and it's using all the latest SDK.
And we're assuming like this is an app that's live.
Yeah, it's an app that is live. So we also don't want to break it for current users. And then there was this feature that you could have a report of if you found like a problem, you found like a flat tire or problem with some stations. But this actually doesn't do anything. You send it a report and we are just tracking with Google Analytics how many people use this. So we can remove the report button, because it's actually not going anywhere and no one is reading it. But yeah, apart from that, I will say this could be a small release. Maybe we can automate the release process, because right now everything is manual. So if it was, let's say, a very critical project, we could decide, and based on that, what we will do or what we wouldn't do based on time constraints or business constraints. But since now we don't have any constraints, let's try to ship the first version.
Let's do
this for these 5 things. So I don't know what should we do first.
I like that. I think just little things like removing the report button is doing something that improves the app, but at the same time we're getting more of a feel of what's going on.
Yeah, just to give a little bit of confidence to see, okay, if I remove the report button, it's not that the app breaks. So
even just like what the product is, like what needs to be reported.
Yeah, so this was all done using storyboards. So we can see this will actually open this model sideways to open the report. Yeah, so not pretty long. The controller is actually acceptable. It's actually a simple app. So this is the service. So everything is done in the view controller.
Yeah.
All the HTTP requests, the parsing of the bike stations, the handle of the position. So requesting the authorization from the user.
And it is just like an MVP. Like you can do that kind of thing.
Yeah. And but yeah, just a walk around is nice. Like, because since we are doing these small things, we get more confidence with the code base. So we start to get an understanding. You can see here the report button. More confidence. We can also see things to improve and maybe add to our technical debt backlog for example, the extract of the services from view controller.
Yeah.
From I don't know, bike info service from the control, we can start to see like small improvements. You can see that this is hard coded here, the API, so it will be difficult to adapt it, let's say, to a different city or to gather information from multiple cities. It will be really difficult to add this feature without doing this refactoring. And I like to make it visual so we know what needs to be done, or if we want to do this kind of feature, what needs to be tackled first. This will definitely be a thing for it. Also extracting the location updates from the view controller as well. This is also a thing that we could do in the future. I'm seeing here we have a bike station object. This will be like our domain model, and is defined as NS object, and is using like this JSON conversion. But now we know with Swift, with the latest version of Swift, we can use the codable and decodable protocol. This could also, there's no reason that this is not a value type, so a struct. So we can we can start to take notes.
Well, will you always keep a kind of a technical debt log of all the things?
Yeah.
How big can that get?
Depends on the project, but it's also a way of measuring what needs, like how much things will slow you down in the future. So if it is like written in a sort of list or even an informal way, at least it's measurable. And you can like justify, for example, to stakeholders
why you need
it's so
that extra
difficult.
Time. Yeah, that's always a difficult.
No, they ask, for example, let's just add another city, and you say, this actually is more difficult, and they say, why? It's just like another JSON.
Yeah.
But then you have like information, you can make more informed decisions about your estimates, for example.
Also, it makes it a little more tackleable. Like you can see just items in a list, and you can go through that list, find a small one, and do it.
Yeah, and also prioritize it.
Yes,
because if I know that in 2 weeks we are going to, for a business reason, to add more cities to this app,
that goes up to the top.
Then this goes up to the top. You can, I don't know. I don't like to make a lot to add a huge process to it, but I like to notate. Also, in here I can see that this could also be decoupled from the map kit.
Yeah.
Right now, this doesn't make any sense to import core location and map kit in a domain object, because a bike station shouldn't rely on that. So that can also be
you should be allowed to be a bike station without being a point on a map.
Yeah. For map kit, let's say. And also, if I want to, let's say, use this domain object in, for example, my server app, I don't know, I don't have mapkit.
Yep.
Doesn't make sense to have it. Then I have the bike station finder. Okay, so this is the algorithm that was under test. That could be another thing. Make unit testing. No.
See that?
Again. Because like right now, even if we wanted, we could not add a unit test because they ask crashing. I don't know why, and we need to investigate that.
So start by fixing the crashes already, and then
then I like to make like this rough sketch, and then we can decide what is more important, what is least important.
I think always starting with like an easy win.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like I have like things that are easy in my to-do list and things that are hard, and they all have a priority. But if I see ones that are important but they're easy, that's like a nice first task.
Yeah, and you get that momentum.
It is just that like
that dopamine.
you're like, I'm a genius. I've updated to Swift 4.2.
And also, I also like to do that, but I also like to do the risk, like.
Yeah, yeah.
No? For example, some kind of things are easy to do in a sort of way, like removing this. It's just a matter of hiding a UI button. You can even leave the code there, but just hide.
Yeah, that's...
And it's pretty safe, let's do, because you'll need always to measure, because this is a simple application. Okay, people are using it to find bicycles, but if it doesn't work, they have other apps to use. They can they just try to read a map and no. So it's not a very critical application.
But also, like, if you remove that button, if you just hide the button, that's easy and it solves it. I think the thing that you want more for your code base is to remove the code.
Yeah.
But also, that could be dangerous. Like, this doesn't seem like that complex an app because it was built in 24 hours.
Yeah.
But if you're in like a big app and you're removing some stuff that it could get, maybe that remove.
But
yeah, well, that's the thing. If there's no tests and if it's maybe that remove does an extra thing that we don't know about.
Yeah, that's a thing to find out. And then I have a map utilities. I think this is basically opening the map app. Yeah. And here we can also find some ideas as well. For example, now it's opening the map app only, but maybe to add the Google Maps support.
Okay, so why is it opening the map app?
The Apple for, I don't know, because it was easy. It is just one line. Everyone has it because it comes with OS. And from the watch, you can open it.
So when you're searching for something, that's how it opens maps?
Yeah, when I search like,
okay,
give me the nearest bicycle.
Yep. That's interesting.
Okay. So then we have the analytics. Yeah, that is the part that I was telling you about. But this is just a wrapper or a utility analytic class around Google Analytics. Yeah, that's why we have the Google service. And in here, yeah, we have this is not needed anymore. Do the build SDK. So we can remove it.
And what happened with BuddyBuild? Apple bought them. And then was it integrated?
They dropped the Android support.
Yep.
And they removed the free plans. So now I think all the plans are paid.
Okay. And then what could you do with BuddyBuild that you can't do with like an open source version that you can get for free?
No, it was basically a continuous integration as a service, but was really easy to set up and to maintain. Like every time a new version of Xcode came along, they just install it in their servers and you get that for free.
Nice.
And they had also a nice SDK. For example, if you had a crash, they would send a video of the last 10 seconds that lead to that crash.
Yeah, that's
kind of things.
Amazing.
And also a feedback support from the user. They have really nice features. But okay, we can see that it depends on Google Analytics. Another thing that I haven't
see what
done,
it depends on.
Yeah, because this can in a legacy app could have like a lot of dependencies. Maybe the dependencies are not updated, and so you need to migrate it. Right now, we can even remove them. They're not like critical. We can remove them so we don't have any dependencies and then re-add it in a later stage.
Add what we want.
Yeah, so that could be, for example, to make the upgrade to Swift for the .2 easier. That could be an idea. But yeah, I wrote in here already, remove BuddyBuild. Let's to remove Google Analytics. So for the next features, we're planning, for example, add support to different cities. we start also to get a map of, okay, what do we need to do before, so it's easier. to do it. And yeah, the info p list, and here the assets. Yeah, it's just like when I receive a project, just like to play around, see what it depends, what doesn't depend. I have the report controller, so this is the one. When you click to report,
you get to this.
Yeah, you can see like everything done in the view controller. Yeah. And this works. This approach, as you see, like for a 24 hours app, it works. It's a simple app. You can put everything here. The thing is that, for example, now if we wanted to reuse parts of this report, I don't know, the camera part, it will be really easy, really difficult, because or you will extract it to a different object, or you could not reuse it, no? But yeah, I don't know. Do you have more? Do you want to explore more a little with the project, or should we?
Yeah, I think we're at a good place there. We could
to start.
Yeah, there's always like, you should never like just jump in quickly. There was a really good tweet I heard the other day that was like days of coding can save you like hours of planning or something.
Days of coding?
It's like days of coding can save you like a couple of hours of planning. And I was like, it's quite good. Are we opening up
Yeah, just to have everything under control. And also maybe share with the rest of our team. I don't know. So right now let's try to tackle this. At least for example, if it was a client, I would like to do this so they could have visibility in the work that I'm done. Okay. And this, like that, is really easy to prioritize.
I like the create 13 cards bit. I didn't know Trello had that feature.
Yeah.
Like
and maybe a backlog, because like that we have everything documented, and we can start giving priorities, and and everyone in the team can have visibility into that. Maybe different people could tackle different issues. Yeah. So upgrade to Swift 4 is a big thing, no? And it's very important.
Yeah, we should do that.
But like we saw before, maybe removing the dependencies and making the unit tests run, it gives us more confidence.
Yeah, especially making the unit test run, because we can't write any unit test until that point.
Yeah. This is pretty safe, even doing without and this, like, the priorities will change based on the requirements that we have. Right now we are just, and they pretty much take not all the same time, but they don't take a huge amount of time. So some I see that are part of the technical debt, and in here there are different kind of schools of thought. Let's say some people say, I know this should belong in the same column of the
to-do
of the backlog of to-do, and should tackle. Some people like
just the same thing, or you want to separate?
Like to create a different one, and then each iteration they take 1 or 2, or allocate 20% of the time of the iteration to do that. So yeah, we can for now leave them here, and till the first release, the first milestone. So release 1.1. So this, I think, will make a nice iteration. It will give us more confidence with the code. We'll have like a clean slate to work on, no? And then we can start tackle the technical debt and adding new features after this one. And our users gain the benefit that it has iOS 12 support.
Yes.
No? So these are pretty easy to remove the dependencies. No? Let's start with this one.
Yeah. Easy wins.
Okay. We can tackle one at a time. So, okay, so the Pomodoro is up.